All right. A very good afternoon to everyone who's present here, the co-panelists, the leaders of India, and all the young viewers out there who are watching this live discussion on what is the national education policy. Now, back in July 2020, when it was introduced, there's a lot of hype about it. However, do you really remember what it was all about? And was it the right thing? Well, to discuss upon the topic, we all have these co-panelists over here, who I'll soon introduce. Over the past two panel discussions, we have touched upon two major points. Why is coding so important? Wherein we discussed about what it is, the kind of skills, the benefits, the XYZ relating to the topic. Secondly, the second panel discussion, we talked about the role of coding and robotics in a student's life. Now that all of this is set on board, why did we really talk about it? And that's where this panel discussion comes into play. Are schools and other academic institutions across the country ready to introduce coding and robotics as a must-have subject into their curriculum? Well, some might say some might say a yes, some might say a no. But what is the true answer? Also, this is where we throw a light in. The National Education Policy has been envisioned to transform the curriculum and has introduced several dynamic changes and subjects, which will replace the 34-year-old policy. To talk more about it, we have the co-panelists here who I now request to introduce themselves. So over to you, Ms. Rachna.
A very good afternoon to all of you. I am Rachna Pant, principal of Ramjas School, RK New Delhi. I have been in the education world for almost 41 years and heading schools for over 22 years. And at the same time, I'm the president awardee from APJ Abdul Kalam ji, written a few books, and my passion is to keep on learning. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for your introduction, ma'am. Over to you, Ms. Deepti.
Yeah, hi everyone. I am Deepti. I am associated with Bluebells Group of Schools, Gurgaon. I had been there for last 15 years. I started my journey as a teacher, gradually from primary to TGT, and then I got an opportunity to develop curriculum for CBSEI. And then our school started a learning space, the research and development section, wherein I was switched from the teachership. I shifted here to content development, and I've been working for last 7 years as a content developer. Very happy, very satisfied, because I'm able to touch thousands of lives, enrich their lives with the innovative curriculum and transaction processes. I do even take micro teaching sessions for the teachers for upgradation. And this is again an enriching section when I will upgrade myself. Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
That's lovely to hear, ma'am. That was some really insightful. That's a very insightful introduction. Over to you, Dr. Ravi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to Code Bharat for all educationists on a single platform where we can share and grow together. I'm Dr. Ravi Tripathi, Principal Sumitra Modern School, Sitapur, Uttar Pradesh. With 26 years of experience in education, I still think that COVID has given a reminder. Keep growing, keep learning, and you have to dive in the ocean of education and learning life skills till the end of the journey.
That's a very good positive note to start with. Over to you, Dr. Kunal.
Happy afternoon, all the eminent panelists. I am Dr. Kunal Anand, presently Principal, Delhi Public School, Udhampur, which is in JNK. I've been a founder principal with Pathways, where I started my careership for the principalship. Before that, I worked in corporate education, brands like Wigan and Lee College, Franklin and Narayana Group. I am also the General Secretary for Jammu Sahodaya Schools. I am a city coordinator for CBSE examination and district training coordinator for Jammu and Leh for training purposes. I am a passionate educator. I believe that the much you multiply what you have in your mind, in your thoughts, that multiplication, if multiplied even by 10, can reach out to millions. And my core thing at the school level, I follow happiness curriculum. That's why I said a happy afternoon rather than saying a good afternoon. So happiness is one thing. If we all take it together, whether it is a pandemic or it is non-pandemic times, happiness and smile can always win millions. That's about me.
That's awesome to hear, sir. I mean, we're definitely going to keep that in mind. And on, again, a happy note, I would like to hand over the baton to Miss Sophia. You're on mute. Miss
So-
Rizvi, you're on mute. All right. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ms. Sophia Rizvi, principal of JMCT International School. I have 8 years experience as a primary principal. I personally believe that, as we say, learning has no end. The day we stop learning, we stop ourselves growing. And Code Bharat has given us, all the ambassadors, a good platform to share our ideas with one another and to share the ideas with one another. So definitely we are going to do something very best for this coding and this robotics. This robotics.
Right.
So,
It's very interesting how all of you started off your introduction on a very metaphorical basis, and I'm sure I'm going to catch hold of all of these in the panel discussion. Over to Mr. Abdul.
Hello
Your
everyone.
introduction, sir.
I'm actually on behalf of our principal madam. She's actually busy, so I'm attending this event. I myself Abdul Muhib. I'm the academic coordinator of Citizen Convent. So actually, I am also a computer science teacher who's actually working in a Citizen Convent from last 3-4 years. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Okay. I expected this introduction to go on a bit longer, so I'm sure I'm going to ask you a lot more questions now. So yeah. All right. All of us have been covered. About me again, my name is Mustansir, and let's commence with our panel discussion. So a lot of you here have been part of multiple roles at multiple institutions. So my first question, in very general and is open to all, is what exactly in your mind is the national education policy? All right, open to all.
Well, if you ask me, what is the new education policy? You know, it has come after 34 years, as you have said, rightly said. Whenever there is a policy, it is directly aiming at the time that the policy is made. And it is looking at the future. What can be done as a nation? So what are the key things required in the nation, in the education system, so that the young and the youth or the children can be prepared for the future? So this is what any education policy is. Similarly, this new education policy is also talking about the same thing. How should we prepare our children for the future? Now, in this, there are 2-3 very core important things. One, I feel, is the ECCE, that is the early childhood education, which has never been touched as of now. So it is being given a lot of emphasis because it is believed that early education is the foundation on which the entire child or the youth or the young is prepared. So that is a very important thing. The other thing I feel is skill development or vocational studies is another very important thing that they are talking about. I like the thing where they are talking about teacher development. That is something which is, I feel, a little weak. It was weak up till now, and it was a notional teacher's development. But now laying special emphasis and focus on it, I feel, is a very, very important thing. And the fourth very important thing that I like in this new education policy is the intermingling of subjects.
That's beautiful.
You know, that is the thing which I like the most. How it is going to be done is another question, but these are my 4 very important things that I liked in this new education policy.
All right,
Right.
that's a very
Yes.
positive note.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Rightly said, Rachna ma'am. What I feel that the National Education Policy 2020 aims at universalization of education from pre-primary to secondary. At the same time, it is bridging the social gaps in access, participation, and learning outcome. And above all, the main thing which I have realized that 34 years back down the lane, when national education policy was not very well accepted, now enough marketing has been done. Each one of
True,
us,
true,
Good
true.
observation.
Absolutely, Dr. Ravi.
each one of us, we have something or other, a kind of add-on to day-to-day
Yes.
education system.
Right, right.
We were talking about experiential learning. We were talking about teachers training. We were talking about self-development, introspection, and all the pragmatic aspect of life and teaching.
Yeah.
And each and everything is very well catered, placed and presented to all of us, where we can definitely grow to a very beautiful peak. Thank you.
Yes.
Well said, ma'am.
Well
Thank you
said,
for
Dr.
elaborating.
Ravi.
Definitely, Rachna
Yeah,
ma'am.
I
You
would.
are the pilot here because you actually have lived both the policies, I'm sure. You have lived both the policies. Rachna ma'am has lived both the policies because she's there, pioneer in education. But one thing, like what I personally believe, that policy, yes, it is very well drafted, very well presented, keeping in mind the universal needs, keeping in mind the global needs, as what Dr. Avi also said, that this policy has been debated a lot. A lot of inputs have come in from every corner of the educational fraternity. But still, one hick which I think probably, because there's a lot of discussion going on, but what I think, policies are made in closed doors. They normally happen in a closed door. When it comes to implementation, that's the task what the educator of today, the principal of today, or the leader of today has to take up. So there the
Absolutely.
challenge begins.
So
We
true,
have
Dr.
got
Kunal.
very expressions about about the system, and that's what ma'am said, early childhood education. We talked about universalization of education. We are talking about amalgamation of subjects and teachers training that has come up very strongly. But how much will it be possible to have it on the ground level? I think that is what is the most debatable part, because so many webinars happen on NEP. Everybody is talking about goods about NEP. Okay, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, teacher education, getting robotics, getting things, but nobody talks about the ground reality. Because what happens at the end of the day, as a principal, as a leader of the school, we are bound by so many things that when it comes to actually implementing a new policy in the school or in the education system altogether, that really gives us nightmares. So I think that would be a time when we'll be all discussing about the challenges which are on ground, not just
Yes.
on paper and not just in those offices.
So
That's
true, Dr. Kunal.
NEP.
Actually, yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you ask my take for NEP to be, my mentor always taught me to follow the KISS strategy, which is
All
keep
right.
it short and simple, right? So for me, the NEP, if I say, it is revolutionary and evolutionary,
Well
effective
said.
and effective. Revolutionary because it is reimagining education after 34 years. It is actually turning every stone. Evolutionary because students here, they are going to evolve, they are going to be liberal, they are going to have lots of choices to make and actually nurture, move forward to their professional careers. Effective, like Dr. Kunal said, it has to be implemented very well for having effective results. So very, very important along with the teacher training. Effective because the multidisciplinary and adding on lots of weightage to the life skills will add on to the, it will address to the emotions and feelings. So for me, I really vouch for it. But yeah, there are few hindrances which we will definitely discuss. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Abdul, do you have a take on this?
Actually, I feel this policy is needed, as well as I feel this policy is more about practical experience and hands-on learning.
Yes.
And that's what I think this was needed, because we are from South Indians, where we are from Mysore, Karnataka, where here practical experience and students are really bookwormed. Now, these kind of for the schools, so we have 1 to 10 standard, where students are not much so much exposed to practical experiences. I think this should help them to challenge with other bigger schools where students will match up equally with everybody.
Mr. Abdul, if you say it is everywhere throughout India, this is the same thing to the rote learning. We are still lots of school. We are still there. So that hands-on learning, experiential learning, art integration, everything, whatever the mandate the CBSE is giving. But yeah, it will take time with proper training and all. Definitely
Probably we are not from CBSE. We are from state board.
Okay, that's one more thing, right?
That's one thing in the previous discussion that a co-panelist talked about. It's rote learning is actually to our advantage. There are two things that we can do. One was very well said, jugaad, and second is rote learning. And why do I mention this? Because my next question is the implementation or the addition of the coding and robotics aspect of it into our curriculum. And we talk
but Sophia ma'am has not talked at all.
Yes, ma'am.
Sophia ma'am has left. She had to
pardon me for that.
Definitely. As this policy gives importance to students as a practical knowledge, and instead of just pushing them towards rote learning, it will be help students to develop scientific temper from a young age. The main agenda behind this introducing of this policy is we can prepare the students to face the challenges of the new world.
That's well said. All right. So, I mean, again, bringing back to my second question, when you talk, like I mentioned, it was very well said that rote learning and jugaad are something that us desis are very well equipped with. Yeah. And why do I mention it? It is because coding or programming has a lot of alliterations, a lot of similes, a lot of different metaphors that are used within the codes itself. And if someone can figure out the right ways of doing it, because there are not exactly one, there are hundreds and hundreds of answers to one question in programming. How, my question, this is just the context, my question being to Ms. Dipti and Sophia ma'am, is that what exactly is the importance of additioning coding into the new, national education policy?
Yeah.
What exactly is its significance?
See, Mustansir, just now I said revolutionary.
Exactly.
Yes, NEP. So it is very important, like the MHRD Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal and Anita Karwal, the secretary, they all said that this, including coding in the curriculum, is a path-breaking reform, wherein we all used to talk about application. We all used to talk about hot thing beyond, out of the box and everything, but there was no major opportunities given to the kids. But this is the inclusion of coding from grade 6 curriculum. It is going to be a brilliant move to strengthen the competitive advantage of India in the technology industry. And moreover, when we talk about, we all want, all the parents, all the teachers, everyone talk about the 21st century skills. So this is going to be an opportunity, one of the kind of opportunity which will make the students move forward, and stand with others in the world.
All right. Ms. Sophia, your take on it?
Yes, sir. As coding is a basic literacy in the digital age, it is important for kids to understand and be able to work their hands-on practice and understand the technology around them. If children learn coding at a young age, prepares them for the future, and it is so helpful for the children with communication, creativity, maths, writing, and confidence. NEP is praiseworthy. As per my opinion, the best part is mandatory coding to be taught at the age of 11 to 14 years and from the classes 6th standard onwards. So it is very important for each and every child to learn coding and be a better citizen of India.
All right.
Mustansir, I will take a minute more. We have in our school started practically coding. We have started with worksheets at the pre-primary, primary grades also, in the form of algorithms, in the form of sequencing and everything. So we can change the world. And we did not wait for grade 6 also. So we are the torch bearer. They are our torch bearers. So we can guide them.
All right. I actually had a counter question, and this is a personal question, in fact. When we talk about a national education, okay, I'll just give a scenario. Right now, if students were to forcefully be taught maths, do they really study it from their heart? Similar in same lines, if you're forcing students to learn coding as a compulsory subject into your curriculum, are you actually making them lose interest in it? Because it is going to take a time for them to transit from the rote learning method. They might end up doing the same. So how is including coding, I mean any subject for that sake, in the national education policy significant? You could have included them as a course, as a passion, as a hobby, as a club. Why such an important inclusion in it? And I hope my question is clear to all.
Yep.
I'll answer you here.
All
I'll
right.
answer, there is nothing like, NEP, there's a clear conduct of having coding in NEP is very much there. It has to be there. But what needs, as what you're saying, that it is not being enforced. Coding is
Yes.
basically trying to put it as an integration. Today, if we
Alright.
talk about NEP, not just talking about coding to be integrated, it's talking about art to be integrated, it's talking about sports to be integrated, and then the amalgamation of subjects as well. So coding
Okay.
is one of the elements. And why they want the children to now think analytically. The idea behind the whole policy, the document says that you have to start analytical thinking among the children and these young minds. Take a small example, a 2.5 years old child, even lesser than that, give him your mobile, that child can take out anything and everything from there. I have to give it to my son who's in class 8, 13 years old. If I get stuck at somewhere in my, when I'm doing an application or I'm downloading something. So the children already have that. Mathematics is always a phobic subject for them. Coding won't be a subject for them. As what Dipti ma'am also said, that because she's a content developer, so she can be an excellent person to answer this as well. How would you making the children understand the importance? You have to take it up from there only. In the last 9 months, schools have totally changed. Our rule was no mobiles. Don't sit on the computer screen. No use of mobiles. Now we say, please use mobiles. Sit in the computer screen for 8 hours, 6 hours. So the whole system has changed. We were not prepared. Schools in India globally were not prepared to face a pandemic and shift to digital education. It happened and it happened successfully. Salute to all the leaders, salute to the teachers who made it possible. So if that impossible, which we've been teaching for years to our children, not to use mobile phones, not to get into Google, not to do this and that, we are making them do all those things from our end. So coding is just one of the elements which need to be added into the curriculum, which needs to be integrated, what the children have to study. So why, as I told you, it is more about their analytical thinking, that how they can think, because young minds, when you catch them young, they definitely come out with extraordinary things. That's how you are also
Absolutely.
coming up with extraordinary questions.
Yeah.
Integration. So integration is required right now.
All
If you
right.
look at that
Exactly.
integration part, certain coding becomes very successfully put into your curriculum.
All right.
Exactly. I would like to add on to what Kunal has said, and that is, if you make coding as a subject,
Fun.
as Kunal said, rightly said, they won't like maths, they won't like it. So he's again very strongly emphasized that you have
Certainly.
to amalgamate and now you have to take it in different subjects and make sure that there is a problem solving, there is logical thinking. There is, if a child is sort of failing in coding something, then he's learning to be resilient, right? Creatively thinking for solutions. So Deepti can make contents where they have to think creatively and differently. They have to put logical things into place. So creative thinking, problem solving, resilience, sort of all these things, which the core skills of the 21st century that are being talked about, can be beautifully done with the help of coding, or rather coding will help in all this.
Ma'am, Rachna,
Coding will help in developing these skills. That is what can be. And again, I'm sorry. Again, see, what is the age for this? I don't think so. There can be an age,
No
because
limit.
you have taken the example of China and the UK. They started very early. Here you are saying from class 6. So there is no age and stage. I feel when a child is able to read and write, have coding, but coding should be in a playway method. It should not be
In
a
a very
course.
subtle manner, I guess. That's
Yes,
what you're trying to say.
absolutely.
May
So
I add?
just
May I
by
add something?
yes.
Yeah, well said, Rachna ma'am. this coding is giving a very beautiful opportunity, which we have been restricting students since
Yes.
have led the students to be a bookworm. Now, what is the opportunity we are catering through coding is commit mistake.
Yes.
I was going to come to that. Very well.
Mistake, fix it
Absolutely.
up.
Yes.
So a child is being trained, which we have been longing for, dreaming for,
Yes.
that my child should be like this. जिसको
Yes.
डर नहीं होना चाहिए.
Huh.
Right. So this coding is giving the opportunity to the students to learn, never give up attitude.
Yeah.
It's actually
Children
a
will
syndrome,
be
ma'am.
courageous.
Yes.
Okay. And once a student is courageous, he can do anything in this.
Yes. You have seen our
Great.
cricket team this time. Once they were courageous, they could do the impossible.
Exactly. And when we talk about implementing coding into the curriculum, it can be from pre-primary section, as Jyoti ma'am said,
Yes.
through games, puzzles, riddles.
Yes.
Now we give technology and we are trapped. Rather than gifting technology to the students, it's better to engage them in technology.
That's very well put, ma'am.
Very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Ravi, like Rachna ma'am was telling, like I said, from 2.5 years, everyone has heard about the story of the little red hen. Yes, we all have done from the very base. So for that, we had created a coding worksheet with the directions that the little red hen had to reach the bread loaf along meeting with the friends. So they were given the direction sense, which is one of the part of the coding. So it is
Yes.
a fun, a joy, a manner in which they will take it very easily. So it's not coding per se, but yeah, you can take them to that path of analytical thinking.
True.
If I can share a simple glimpse.
Absolutely.
Can
Please
I?
go on, ma'am.
Yeah.
While you share, I would like to mention that in the previous panel discussion as well, it was very beautiful how we had a preschool principal. She mentioned that they have students doing programming not just by using technical jargons as HTML or something. They simply ask them a story and they don't complete the story. If there was a Baba black sheep, you do not know where the wool is. They leave it on that sentence and let the students go and create their own stories. And that's something which is very beautiful. So yeah, just to add on. Please go on, ma'am.
So yeah. Just I had created this glimpse infographic for coding in education, boosting your confidence, coding, which fosters creativity. That is what Dr. Kunal and we all discussed. It gives us an opportunity to plan, organize, and apply.
Yes.
Which is very, very important. So a small, simple glimpse wherein we can get the picture of coding, its significance, how we are going to take it and deliver it, that is on us.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing this. I'm hoping all the students who are watching this, all the young leaders of India, tomorrow you do coding, tomorrow you do business management, tomorrow you do engineering. Understand the concept of life. If you understand what you're doing, if you can think about which way to go next, there's no right way to do it. So rather than roting, I do this, my father did this, my mother did this, create your own paths. That's exactly what we're here to help you about. That brings me to my next question. I mean, in fact, I had three, which actually all of you talked about, which was our education supports topping, score well, you get an award for this. It's in fact a syndrome that they mentioned in the previous discussion as well, and which is very well answered. So I'm going to think about my next question, which is if you had to implement NEP in your institutions as an educator, as an administrator, in the next maybe 18 months, what would be your steps of doing it? Okay, maybe not NEP, something similar to that in your own way. How would you go about it? And this question is directed to everyone, taking in mind the educators who are listening to our conversation. How would they do this? Please.
Well, when you said NEP or any other thing, 2 years back, we introduced happiness curriculum. We had no vague idea. Before the opening of the session, I called up my teachers and coordinators and told them we are thinking of a happiness curriculum being introduced into our school from the next session. So 3 days down the line, we'll have a meeting, come with your inputs. They all went back, Googled or whatever, and then they came back to me saying, so this is some initiative taken by government of Delhi, but nothing else we were able to find. I said, if you have to go out and find happiness for yourself on Google, how can you do a happiness curriculum? So what Reva ma'am at the beginning said, introspection is very, very important when you are implementing any new thing in the education system, or for that instance, even into your routine life. When we guys, I'm taking this on a very personal note, when you guys getting married, if you're not if you're going to an arranged marriage, so look at that. How do you do it? How do you get to know that person, meet that person, get married to that person, get them into your family, and then finally that person becomes the most important person of your life? Isn't it implementing? It is implementation of a new member into your whole life. The person you don't even know where he or she was born, how he or she was brought up, and now that person is your life partner who's going to walk ahead with you for whole life. So this, I take it on a very general ground when I implement something, that as I told you, if you have to look for your happiness on Google, then how would you do it? Then we came up with this idea that let's see what makes children happy in the classrooms. So automatically, whatever I needed, whether it was integration of sports, it was integration of art, it was coding, we called it AI because that was the term before coding came in. So everything fell in its place itself. In the morning, I tell you, when my pre-primary comes, first half an hour, they are just dancing. There's a loud music going on in their pre-primary section, and everybody is dancing, including their teachers. At times, when the parents come and drop the new ones who are coming in the school, we ask them to come and join us for the dancing session, because that is basically a happiness thing to happen with you. So why are we having such a big challenge when it comes to a national education policy? Any policy, if you understand that policy properly, introspect that policy properly, and then you make a roadmap. Very, very important. Very rightly said by him that, we are all bound by our old rules. The rules, when we talk a lot when we come to webinars, we talk a lot when we come to, various events, but when it come back to school, our run is for completion syllabus and producing board results. That is which we all have been doing, and we would be doing it in future also.
I would like to add,
a roadmap has to.
Please. Sorry to cut you
there.
there.
Something?
I was just mentioning
the
that
roadmap needs to be where you make a roadmap, put up your own things. Like you have to decide upon what level. NEP cannot come overnight. It will take years. By the time CCA was introduced, we understood CCA. CCA was taken away from us. It took us 5 years to understand what CCA was. And the moment we started working on CCA, CCA went back. Now again, somehow the CCA is coming in the same format. So make your milestones, how much you want to achieve as an educator in your system. So my policy is always there. I make my own milestones. I just don't want to jump into all the things together. Make your milestones, have your goals clear. We talk to children about making their goals. And we, as educators, we fail to make our own goals clear. So let's make our own goals clear. Let's do that. That's how I put it. Yes, Dr. Ram.
May I add?
I would like to add on which you could answer. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to mention how in urban cities or metropolitan, any well-to-do city, the principals, the administrators are aware about the problem or are aware about what's happening around them. And in their head, somewhere they want to do it. They don't have the time for it, but they know it's happening. But in the non-good to do part of the world, in part of the nation, principals are the administrator is struggling to keep up with the students, how they want to educate them. How exactly do you introduce anything innovative for them? And on that, I would like Ms. Dr. Ravi to answer, please, and continue. Thank you.
Well, a very beautiful question, wonderful question indeed. What I want to say that being a leader of a team, what I think that I should give freedom.
Absolutely.
If a team has freedom to think, to analyze their capabilities, and thereafter choose the way which we can do, thereafter we as a leader can enhance their capabilities by encouraging. What I do, I asked my teachers to go through NEP and just 3 things which we would like to do as a teacher. So we'll have one orientation wherein each and every teacher will put forward his 3 takeaway from NEP, which he or she would like to implement. And definitely, I think the day would be very interactive, very happening, wherein we'll together sit and prepare the roadmap for the institution.
Well said. Well said, ma'am. Would Miss Sophia or Mr. Abdul like to add on to this? Both of you on mute. All right. I can see the claps. You're the first panel to use these so well. You're using claps, thumbs up, and all. Very, very interactive. Thank you for being so interactive and at such a hectic time in your schedule and driven time for us. All right. You gave us a roadmap. You mentioned to us how you could do a survey amongst your faculties and students to better help them cater to what they need. And that's a very
So
beautiful
based on what Kunal and you had said, I can just put in 4 or 5 points.
Sure,
That is,
please.
first understand it, then introspect, then do brainstorming, then inform all the stakeholders, prepare a roadmap, work on it, apprise all, and implement. So when you all were talking, I put these few points.
Ma'am, please send notes.
अभी लिख रहे थे.
Lovely. So this is all the good greener side of the road, but what about the road not taken, which Mr. Kunal really well mentioned in the very start of our conversation? The disadvantages of NEP, not the challenges, the disadvantages of NEP. And I would like to actually start this question by Mr. Abdul and Ms. Sophia, and then we can all add up to it. Please, sir, ma'am. Mr. Abdul or Mr. Sophia? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Until it is not implemented, we cannot say about
Ma'am, I
this.
can't hear you clearly. Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Until it is not implemented, we cannot say about this disadvantages. Actually, implementation of this policy is not easy and it will take some time for fully implementation. As per teaching, we will be done in local languages till class 5th. It is quite a good decision to promote the local language, but declaring it as a medium of teaching doesn't seem to be a good idea. There must be a regular teacher training, as they can only frame, and proper training could implement more better teaching to the students.
All right, fair enough. Mr. Abdul, thank you so much for your answer, ma'am. What about Mr. Abdul? What are your take on it? Disadvantages of NEP.
Yeah, actually, NEP has some of the disadvantages. So, like, we have students of lower section.
All right.
Yeah, where they're
you mean caste or you mean grade?
Lower grade, no, lower all section of people where government schools and aided school students.
All right.
So there for them implementing these things because of their family backgrounds. So, like an example, many students in the government school are not able to adopt online education. Right. So how will they be able to adopt these new things? I think these are okay for private schools and all, no issue. But government schools and aided school, I think it will be very difficult to implement all those things, as well as the teachers there are not able to adopt these things.
That makes sense. They'll probably have to start by some, then some, then some. टुकड़ों में करना पड़ेगा. All right, fair point. आपके शब्दों से कहावत बूंद बूंद से पानी बनता है. Sorry, सागर बनता है. Sorry.
Bad is not possible, sir. It takes time.
I would like to add, Mr. Abdul, see, when we talk about coding and all, still we can see that the technological help and aid is needed for that. And that too, we can, without technology also, we can develop that thinking. But if you talk about NEP 2020, I think ripples are always there when anything starts, but you can gradually, if the process is gradual and the training is done very well, so there is nothing for the lower, whatever the lower section also, and for any school, you can say alpha, beta, gamma, any school, they will be able to follow it. And it is going to create a huge change, which we actually want for years. We are wanting it, that the application, why are our students, Indian students, why are they moving out of the country? Why not they are staying here? Why is their brain drain? So why not let them use ears? So if
I can
this
feel your
entire process-
patriotism.
might be because I am a social science teacher by the background, you know.
We need
So,
for this infrastructure something like that, no?
no, for NEP 2020, Mr. Abdul, the infrastructure is not so important. The process is important. For graduate from pre-primary, when the blocks they have given 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, there is nothing. It is just a mindset that what I can say or vouch for. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Muskan, sir. Can I share a slide for Mr.
Yeah, please,
Abdul?
please. I was speaking
Just
to
a second.
someone else in the room.
Okay. See, if this slide, there is nothing, like I said, revolutionary, evolutionary, effective, affective. Now I will go to this second slide. If I say these are the salient features, wherein we are going to tap the unique capabilities, which is not important, which is no issue for anyone to do it anywhere, any school from pre-primary to high school, right? Critical thinking and creativity, technology and education. Still, governments are aiding it, and they're working at this, made special departments for this, Mr. Abdul, to aid the schools in technological development. Then bagless days and informal internship from grade 6 onward. Anyone can do it. And it is really going to that vocational training and all multidisciplinary approach and integrated, everything will fall in place. Flexibility in learning, where you have given the choices to the students, wherein they can choose whether math with STEAM or humanities with STEAM, everything is going to fall in place. Experiential and application-based learning, which we all want, need of the hour. Focus on life skills, a good human being. Finally, everyone wants our kids to be good human being rather than all degree holders and takers. Multidisciplinary approach and continuous review for the assessments, which is in our hand. So these things, I believe everyone can do it. It is just we have to start. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, please.
I have a very tricky question for you, Ms. Deepti, and
Yeah,
all
sure.
of the other co-panelists.
Yes.
Let me just get a second to rephrase it properly.
Right.
You mentioned about flexibility, you mentioned about liberalization, you mentioned a lot of words that resonate with the sense of openness. Do whatever you want, right? Today, looking at, and this might go a little off topic, not sure, but looking at the unemployment rates, looking at everything, all of us want our children to have a job.
Yeah.
They want them to make money, not a job. You may do a business, you do a startup, you do want anything. They want them to make money and settle, right? With that in mind, you need results in school. Okay, until you're clear. Now, if this school starts, maybe assume in the next 6 months or the next 2 years, if this school gives too much freedom, as you mentioned, in a very different sense, gives too much freedom to the students to choose, who are yet not well aware about the world, because they're at a very young age, right? Because it takes me also time to understand what I want to do next in the 1 year. They are still school-going children. Is too much freedom good? Because that's something that the NEP proposes.
No. Muskan sir, it's not too much freedom, but the right kind of freedom at right age. Very important.
All right. Could you elaborate?
Yeah, from grade 6 onwards, if they are talking about vocational training and courses, wherein you are giving them opportunities to try out 10 different things, wherein you will be interested. In foreign countries, why is it so? If some latch breaks or the geyser is not working, they themselves fix it. But in our country, we are waiting for the plumber to fall in place, to electrician to come. Papa, मेरे से तो होगा नहीं. तो कैसे नहीं होगा? अगर हम उनको ये मौका देंगे, if we will give that opportunity to them to learn these arts. So one is that. So it is not out of the freedom. And second, choosing subject. अगर मुझे math पसंद नहीं है and you're forcing me to do math, instead of that, you will give me a choice of subject where I can do very well, wonderful. If I good at humanities, arts, अगर वो मेरा forte है, and you are giving me that choice, so that will definitely impact my future and my results. That is what I can say. Please.
All right. Please continue, Dr. Ravi.
Yeah. Well, very wonderful question. Wherein the child is getting 100% liberty and freedom to interact with parents. Rather than imposing on the child that you opt mathematics, there is no other way around. Now he has given a list of subjects wherein he can have a very good discussion at the dinner table, when the teachers can also guide them, So the interaction which was missing before come in light.
All right, that's a fair point.
Exactly. One more thing, like a kite, the child is like a kite. We do give freedom and we know where to control them.
Yeah.
All right, very, very well said. That gives perspective to the entire question. All right, cool.
You were talking about unemployment today,
All
right?
right.
See, unemployment of today is unemployment today. What is going to be the employment of tomorrow is very different. So what is NEP doing? It is training you for the future. It is not training you in 90% in one and 100% in another. It is talking about holistic development and skill development. Once you have developed the skills, then the other very important thing is learning to learn. If you have developed skills, if you know how to learn and learn things fast, you can always then adapt yourself to whatever the new employment comes up. And when the computers came, they said, oh, typist will go away. This will happen. Ab to naukri nahi hogi. What happened? So many other new employment came. So future will have lot of new employment skills. You're talking about quantum computing. You're talking about sort of quantum readiness. You're talking about computational thinking. You're talking about computational biology. So many other things. And all this coding and all this will help in those future careers. That's my take on it.
These are all very good metaphors to explain and really, really good answers. I mean, I was not expecting them. I was hoping you guys go numb, but they're beautiful, fantastic answers actually. Lovely. So before anybody wants to...
Everything is directly proportional. No inverse proportional. That is not there here.
All right. So because we are close to the end of our session, I would like to ask a final question, and it's kind of like a concluding question. So all of you can also give additionally a closing remarks as well. And these can be directed to two people. These young students, the young minds are watching these, the coders, the programmers of India, and the educators who would like to implement the NEP, the coding syllabus, all of that. So with both respects. The final question being, and I'm guessing all of you have realized what I'm going to ask. Is NEP really good? Chalo, ye to ek question hua. The second important part of it is, who is it really benefiting? And that's
better than what the policy was. Definitely NEP is better. Good, very good, excellent would come when the implementation actually happens. So yes, it's better. What Rachna ma'am at the beginning even said, universally acceptable and globally acceptable policy. How good it could be, I think, would depend upon we as edu leaders, that how we implement the way it is supposed to be. Likewise, certain people said about the advantages, some talked about the disadvantages. The theory which is behind this thing about that 5+3+3+4 system, how would that be implemented on the ground would definitely be something very challenging. You are expecting that the first 3 years should be purely playway, no literacy. Would that be something when, at the age of 2 only or 1.5, when the child starts speaking, the mother starts, they were telling them poems, okay, learn the poems, start talking about ABC, talk about 1, 2, 3, 4. So that mindset need to be changed thoroughly. That first 3 years only play, nothing else. Numeracy is coming from class 1 and 2 when the child is 6 and 7 years old. Till date, by class 6 and first and second, the child is qualified enough to understand, even making sentences for that instance. So it, how good it would be for Indian education system and Indian educators, that would be seen in the next 5 years, I think, personally from my front, because it is not that easy, like talking about regional language. Sophia ma'am said it is a very good advantage. It is. But do we think teaching them for 5 years in a local language or a mother tongue and then getting them, definitely English is there, class 1 English comes in, but teaching, this is what we are not doing. We are preferring that the children should be a global citizen. When a child has to be a global citizen, definitely English comes up as one of the globally accepted language. So would we be able to do that justification? And 6th onwards, when we talk about coming into vocational studies, vocational course, that is very well blended, because that is being blended with the higher education also. So once you are in college, you
the
can
degrees
do
and the post degrees.
certificate, you can be there for 1 year. If you want to do a diploma for a 2 years, degree for a 3 years, and a master's for a 4 year, you can drop in between. So 6th onwards, yes, integration is very strongly there, but the challenge remains implementing it at the primary level.
The earliest age.
No pre-primary level. Pre-primary level would remain up to class 5
Foundation.
as per the new policy. So that challenge of implementing this policy in exact way would be something which we all need to look at, and from there only I think we can call it good, better, or best only with the success of implementing it at that level. That's my take on it.
Fair answer, sir.
Dr.
Thank you.
Kunal, still they have given a choice for the languages, whether you want to go for the regional or English, it is up to you.
No,
Yeah,
definitely,
still.
definitely,
Yeah.
ma'am. They're given a choice, but
Right.
the policy states mother tongue.
Mother tongue, they are, that is
also.
why, because the only reason is mother tongue, a
They're a
child can
diverse
grasp well
country.
few of the interior parts of the country, wherein they can actually come to the cognitive level, can match at least if they understand well. Yeah, but linguistic barrier is going to be there after grade 6 and 7 when they merge with the private and government come together. Then
Now,
there is
like
going to be
Abdul
an
was
issue.
mentioning in the beginning that they are from a state board. Of course, we all face state board children who are coming to our schools probably in class 5, 6 at the time.
Absolutely.
Normally, children come from the state board to the CBSE or ICSE or IB boards. It is so very difficult to get them onto that system with the with the present situation. It takes them years before they reach 9th. We still have to give it a rethought. Shall we proceed them to 10th, or should we ask them to 1 year back, because we have to maintain the results also. So
And
that
again, yeah.
because there was a rumor that the boards would go away. So boards are not going away anywhere. Right? The same situation would remain on the head of the institution to produce results. And when we have to produce results, we have to ensure that we are getting the best of lot. And now we are not having that trained lot. We are stopping them from RTE. So if you look at from every perspective,
All the perspectives.
it is, but then there are so many blinders on us that will it be successful, as what he asked, will it be good? So goodness or betterness, I think, would come with
After
time.
implementation, how
Yeah.
is it going to be executed and
Yes.
implemented? Yeah.
I forget the question when I am giving you the question because the answers are so that good. I'm thinking about the answers.
No, what I want to say regarding the same thing, it has all been said, but whether NEP is good or not good, it depends. There is nothing good or bad. It is, as Kunal said, it is the implementation which is good or bad. Yes, whatever the lacunas were in 34-year Agay policy, that has been tried to be sort of blocked, and at the keeping the future in mind. That is one thing. Another thing which Mr. Kunal said, which again talks about NEP, is that the first 3 years should be fun. Yes, Montessori has talked about it. Kindergarten has talked about this. Playway method has been talked about it. Ujuri method is being talking about the same thing. So all this is being put here officially, which was not there officially earlier. So that is very good. And definitely the NEP is trying to prepare the youth for the future, which is the need of the day. That is the thing that I would like to say. And yes, preparing them as global citizens, for which the language, the English language, has to be done. Local language also can be there. The thing is, there is no harm. Child learns 3 to 4 languages beautifully. That has been proven by psychologists, early stage education. So where is the problem?
And one more thing, Dr. Rachna, I would like to add here, the beauty in the senior level, at the college level, is bringing the foreign industries to our land.
Yes.
It's very, very important. Their culture, their thought process, their way of thinking, how they approach to a certain problem. Then when things will come amalgamated over here, I think we are going to set the tone for the future like what we wanted. And
win-win situation.
For our win-win for everyone. Yes.
I would like to add on to all three of your statements that the national education policy is not just about implementing in the next 5 years. The important thing is it has made people think about it today. And that's something. Maybe you might not implement it in the next 5 years and the government forces you to do it. But upon your part, as a faculty's responsibility, as an administrator's responsibility, you're going to think about implementing it is 15-20% of it today. And that's something which is the essence of it. Maybe not 100%, but I mean, yeah, about that. Please, Mr.
Why not from class nursery to class 8 right now?
Why
We have the freedom. So start. The younger
government
you
is giving
start,
the
the
freedom.
earlier you start, the better prepared you are. All the sort of the hurdles and the hiccups that are there, the wrinkles that are there, it can be all eased out by the time the this policy is officially implemented.
True.
Frog ahead. So let us leapfrog.
And
Right,
rather,
very
we
right.
have started in our school, we have started now only. We have
Yeah.
started implementing things so that we will come to
Yes.
know the main, whenever it is going to be officially a deadline or date is going to be given to us, we are going to be there almost.
Yes.
Not, I cannot say
That's
almost
beautiful.
there, but we are
Yes.
going to be on, the path is going to be set for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it is your take, how you're going to actually start and move at the roadmap.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Ma'am, Dr. Ravi, Abdul Habib and Miss Sophia, please your closing remarks.
Yeah, right. What I feel that these discussions are motivating too much towards the implementation. They are making it more ready, you know.
True.
And as Krishna ma'am said, Dipti ma'am said, and Dr. Kunal sir said that, yeah, when we talk about the grassroots level, we'll understand where are the wrinkles, where we need to apply the cream and ease the wound. So definitely, let's start as early as possible so that we are able to, by the time we reach for officially starting anything, we'll be able to adjust ourselves.
Already leap ahead of starting. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Mr. Abdul.
Actually, it was like good or bad. I don't think there's anything bad there. So definitely, it will be definitely a good move for schools and all, where the 21st century skills, which many schools were not able knowing, they all will know those things, and the students especially will definitely a win-win situation, as Madam said, definitely be a win-win students, as well as the teachers also will definitely learn some new things, so that the students upcoming days they are ready for the 21st century. That's what I would say. Thank you.
Thank you. I can see Dr. Ravi signing diaries. Is that what you're doing, ma'am? As a principal, are you signing diaries?
And no, some
We
work
used to be
was there.
scared
I
of
was,
those.
I was just winding up.
All right. No, we used to fear them going to the principal's office because what that padega aaj ghar pe.
But
Right.
one thing before closing, Dr. Kunal, I would like to visit your school and experience that happiness curriculum for sure. And you to dance with that half an hour with your kids, your teachers.
More than welcome. I would be glad if people visit my school anytime you are on a tour to JNK. Most welcome.
I am most definitely connecting with
And I
all of
guess
you
one
personally.
Yeah. Dipti ma'am, what?
He has even changed the role of principal now.
Dr.
Purely the
Ravi,
role of principals have changed. We have become more of
Yeah.
edu leaders. We have become more of edu leaders than just being a principal. Because the principal has become a nucleus. We have started, having everything from the center and everybody around us, rather than,
Absolutely.
having it from the
That's beautiful.
Actually,
not
Dipti
only
ma'am,
me, but I guess the
what
21st century has changed the definition of principal also.
what
All right,
Kunal is doing, he's starting the day with the music, and I'm winding up the day with the music, By the time students reach home, no, they are all happy, go,
That's good for the parents.
So
Jo
they
banega
feel
kha lenge.
good.
Parents actually. So in between, if there is anything, up and down, everything is
Yeah.
complicated.
So just easy, pacify things at
Exactly.
the end of the day.
So the ultimate goal is happiness, and that should be there.
Absolutely. Very, very
Absolutely.
important. They should enjoy what they're going to do. So
We
that
All
didn't
right.
hear Sophia talking.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right,
ma'am.
Miss Sophia.
Yes, sir. Actually, I would appreciate the words told by Rachna ma'am, that she told that as we should be ready right now, as we are on our toes. So why not from nursery to grade 8 right now? So I totally agree with that point, ma'am. Thank you so much. And as we are connected globally, so we need to train ourselves for the future generation in some better and different ways, which doesn't mean that we are not better now. We are doing our best. Our teachers are doing our best. But still, the change is important. So we are there. So, but this change in our after 10 to 15 years will be completely different and more technocentric.
I am very delighted with what you just said, and I would like to actually add on to it. From what you mentioned, it's no longer a competition within your classroom walls. Because every single child in knowledge is doing something different, you're no longer a competition. And once you understand that your class is not a competition, you're going to think on a bigger scale. And that's when you're actually future ready and you're globally ready. Because now we don't need to worry about, oh, what if an Asian kid gets an education over there or an MBA over there? You're all well aware about what's happening. And that's something which is very nice. Thank you, Ms. Sophia. All right. That's, I guess, the closing of our 1 minute ahead of our time. So I'm going to thank all of you on behalf of the world record event today that's happening. In fact, this is the first time I'm mentioning it. This event is recorded live for 15,000 plus students, educators, faculty, trainers across India. In fact, some globally as well. And I thank all of you co-panelists here for being such a delight. And I'm hoping all of you connect with each other as well as this poor child. It was lovely to speaking with all of you here. And I look forward to seeing all of you very soon post the pandemic. And all the very best to all the young minds who are watching these videos and all the educators around India and the world who are to soon open their buildings to the students. It's going to be a lovely scene watching everyone sing the same national anthem in our assemblies. It's going to be beautiful.
Indeed,
Thank you so
we are
much.
lucky. Mustafid, indeed, we are lucky to be part of this world, record where we are part of it today. I am really happy. And
Thank you so
excited.
much. It's a pleasure to host all of you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll stop the recording now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now you all can casually speak to one another. Hope all of you
Yes,
enjoyed the
Kunal,
questions
I
and
think I would like to also come and visit your school and dance. At my old age, I would like to dance in my old age.
Rachna ma'am, we are going to fix up a program together, and Dr. Ravi also wanted it. So all
Yes,
of us
but-
together, who also Dr. Kunal, please
So
make
Sophia
space
would
for
be
us.
there, Ravi would be there, Abdul would be there, and Kunal, you
We all are
better
going
be
to be
prepared.
What about me, ma'am? What is this?
Muskan, sir, without you, you wouldn't have been here.
Like, we
Without
have
you,
to
you wouldn't
take
have
you-
been connected today.
We
Guys,
have to
sorry to
take
interrupt. Guys, sorry to interrupt. I was in
Yeah.
the morning session. I am working with Sophia. Only we both are principal of one school, but my session was in the morning. But I found
Okay.
this interesting, and I
Oh,
peeped
wow.
it again.
That's great, simply great, wonderful.
Chitra ma'am, I know I allowed you to enter and I was like, I think
Yes,
you're in
yes.
the
yes.
wrong
Thank
session.
you so
Don't-
much. Thank you.
You
so
are
much.
you are also welcome to come with
Welcome.
us to Dr. Kunal's
Chitra,
Kunal's place.
school.
Yeah.
So it is.
Mustange, thank you for adding me again in this session. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to host you. Just to clarify, sir, is it Udaipur that your DPS is based out of? I couldn't hear you.
Udhampur. It is Udhampur, na?
My geography is really bad. I still have no idea where that is.
Arey, Udhampur is so very famous, you don't know.
Jहाँ इतना उद्धम
I am
होता है
not from
मुस्ताफिर.
India. I am sitting here from Dubai and doing this conversation.
Okay.
Okay. So they really like to enjoy more over there along with us.
Absolutely. I'm from Bombay otherwise. We don't have good spaces in Bombay. We have only Marine Drive.
It's in the midway.
Muskan,
Alright.
you're at the Queen's Necklace. Why are you feeling like that? There's another beauty in Mumbai.
That's exactly what we have. That's the only thing we have. We don't have anything much other than that. Other than that, Sanjeev Gandhi National Park.
Okay. Thank you so much, Muskan. And thank you all of you.
so much. Lovely.
Thank you all for giving your precious time. Hope all of you enjoyed.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.